Hello and welcome to the SM Astro channel. In this video, we shall talk about the effect of retro and debilitated Mars for each ascendant and sign. Mars is already debilitated in the Cancer sign and it will go retro from the 7th of December 2024 and will remain in this state till 22nd of December 2025. Let us understand the effect of this retro movement for each ascendant and sign. As usual, we shall begin with the Aries ascendant. For Aries ascendant, Mars is your ascendant lord and also the lord of your 8th house. It is transiting in the 4th house. The 4th house is the house of happiness and home comfort. During this time, watch out for your home environment. There can be some disputes and arguments at home. Being the 8th house lord, there can be sudden expenses also in home interiors, repair work at home, or in the repair of vehicles. Also, it is important that you drive very carefully during this retro period of Mars. There is also likelihood of disharmony in partnership with partners, with spouse, so there can be troubles both professionally and in personal relations. There can be some obstacles in work as well. Career can also be disrupted. Career can also experience some kind of obstacles during this period. There is also going to be disharmony with friends and colleagues. Disputes in ancestral property is also likely. There can be problems with younger brother, younger siblings. You also need to be very careful if you are making any purchases of land or any property. Any land related dealings should be dealt with utmost care. There can be some troubles during this period. The most effective remedy is to read Hanuman Chalisa every day. Exercise, go to a gym, but don't be too aggressive if you are not a regular gym goer. If you are starting out new, then go slow, but burn out some excess energy from your body in any kind of physical activity. Don't be impulsive, think before you act. Drive carefully. Swimming can be a very good form of exercise during this period and can be a very effective way to handle the excess energy in your body, especially as Mars is in a watery sign. So swimming can be an excellent way to burn off excess energy and emotions. Now for my Taurus friends, Mars becomes your 12th and 7th house lord and is transiting in your 3rd house. There can be some arguments with siblings, especially younger brothers. There can be arguments with friends, neighbors. If you are fond of sports, then on the sports field as well, there can be some arguments, some fights, not only with your opponents, but even with your own teammates. Communication can also be a bit tricky and troublesome during this period. There are chances of miscommunication. Short-term journeys are also possible, but make sure you are well prepared for the journey before you start it. Being impulsive will waste all your efforts, so think before you act. Remember, haste makes waste. So do not be in a hurry to complete any work. Do not be in a hurry to undertake or start any journey. Take a pause, breathe and think, especially before speaking to anyone. There can also be problems with spouse and business partners during this period. Also, arguments with co-workers or boss and even father is possible. Do not look to change your career or quit job for now. Foreign travel can be problematic as well. Also, do not make any new investments. Remedies: play sports, do some kind of physical exercise and meditate as well. For my Gemini friends, your 11th and 6th house lord Mars is transiting in your 2nd house. There can be some fights and arguments, disagreements with family. Loan can also become problematic for you during this period. It is better if you avoid taking any new loans during this period. There can be some fluctuations in income as well. Don't be impulsive and avoid arguments at all costs. Fights regarding ancestral property is also possible, which may also lead to some kind of court cases during this period. Younger sibling may be going away for education or work or for a leisure trip as well. Do not quit or look to change your job for now. Try to avoid mingling your co-workers or friends with your family. If you want to introduce your new friends or your new co-workers to your family members, then do not do so during this period, as there are chances that they may enter into a verbal argument or may not like something about your family, which can disturb your relations with them. Some past old friend may come back during this time or pay you a visit. Watch what you eat, avoid spicy food, take care of your eyes, ears and teeth. Take extra care of your children, as your 5th house lord Venus is also in 8th house, so the probability of children falling sick is very high during this period. Read Hanuman Chalisa, speak well, do not be rude, do not be impulsive, ensure you are drinking clean water, and especially when consuming or if you are preparing any hot liquids like tea, coffee, soups, be extra careful. Be patient and control your desires. For my Cancer friends, your 5th and 10th house lord is transiting in the 1st house. Retro and debilitated Mars in Lagna, in ascendant, it means there is going to be lots of overthinking, lots of ideas, lots of visionary ideas as well, and lots of goals will rotate on your mind. All of these thoughts will keep floating in your mind, but take a pause and go slow. Too many things will be happening at once and you need to slow down a bit, as your physical stamina will take a hit along with mental energy during this period. Career, children and your own future will be on your mind, but remember, haste makes waste. You are likely to take on too many things at once, which will leave you physically and mentally exhausted. So try not to overburden yourself. Do not be in a hurry to take any decisions. Do not be impulsive. Go for a swim if possible. Go to a beach or to places near water bodies, which will help relax your mind. Do not try to make too many changes in your career and stick to your old plans for now. Love affairs can be troublesome as well. Relations with business partners and spouse can be tough. Unless you have a very strong Venus and favorable dasha in your chart at the moment. If Venus is also weak and your dasha is also not favorable, then the relationships can be very problematic, very challenging during this period. For women who are expecting, avoid any stress and try to avoid traveling during the period when Mars is retro. Watch out for relations with in-laws as well. Ancestral property can be a matter of dispute as well during this time. Keep a thorough check on your anger. Drive very carefully. Vehicles may demand some repair also at this time. Home environment can be a bit argumentative too. Don't be over ambitious at this point. Worship Lord Hanuman and do some physical exercise. Play some sport. Go for a swim. For Leo ascendants, your 9th and 4th house lord is in 12th house. There is likelihood of change of home, change of residence for most of you. Change of vehicle or even change of city is possible. Foreign travel, foreign settlement is also possible during this period. For those who want to sell off any property, this is a very good time for you. You can easily sell off your property and get a good price for your investment. But if you're looking to buy a property or land or vehicle or even a new home for yourself, then you need to be very careful. Think twice before making any new investments, especially be it in land or real estate, and be it in any kind of commodities, stocks, mutual funds, cryptos, insurance policies, etc. Long distance is very much in the cards during this transit. There can be some spiritual or religious tours as well. Keep your mind focused in these areas and spirituality, and you shall be able to pass this transit with ease. There can be some health issues to both mother and father during this transit, or they may go for a spiritual journey during this period. Job offers in foreign or from long distance is possible. Avoid taking any loans during this period. Meditate, worship Lord Hanuman and do some physical exercise. Go for a swim if possible for you. For my Virgo friends, your 8th and 3rd house lord is in the 11th house. There is going to be obstacles in income and wish fulfillment. This is the energy of this transit for you. Some kind of obstacles, some kind of sudden problems in income and wish fulfillment. There can also be some sudden issues with friends or with people from the society. Even though there may be obstacles, But the good thing is that even though there may be obstacles, eventually this transit will bless you with some kind of gains. Better avoid any arguments with your friends and people in your social circle. Some secrets that you have been hiding with them may also reveal itself, or if you have been talking behind their backs, criticizing them, then such things may also reveal itself during this transit. There can be gains from ancestral property, insurance, and from the effort that you put in during this time. The effort needed, however, will be 3 times more than the usual, but rewards will follow. Gains from hobbies and skills is also possible. Avoid any kind of speculations and big investments for now. Read Hanuman Chalisa, go for a swim, and do some exercise, and this can be a good remedy for you. For my Libra friends, your 2nd and 7th house Lord is transiting in the 10th house. Relations with partners and spouse can take a hit. Both your professional relationships and personal relationships can see some kind of troubles during this transit. Also, there can be some issues with your family members. They may not be very supportive of your career or the path that you have chosen to work on during this transit. This is also bad for people involved in family business and ancestral business. This is also bad for people in the food business or restaurant owners or any kind of business that involves food. Avoid being impulsive during this period. Do not make any new plans. Stick to your old plans and continue doing just what you are doing. Do not start something new during this transit. It is also negative for your wealth and finances. So avoid dealing in lands and properties. Especially if you are looking to purchase a new land or property, then try to avoid them, or if it is very necessary for you to do so, then do check the documents very carefully, as there can be some troubles from the government also during this time. This period is also negative for your home environment. Watch out for your knees. Knees can be problematic. Keep your anger in check, especially at workplace and home. It is good that your ascendant Lord Venus is very strong for a few weeks and will keep the fiery energy of Mars in check, but it is only for a few weeks. The remedy is to do some kind of physical exercise, but keep your knees in check. Keep an eye on your knees. Do not stress on your knees too much. Go for a swim. Don't be impulsive and avoid any kind of speculation activities during this period. Worship Lord Hanuman. It is very important that you avoid any kind of speculative activities during this period. For my Scorpio friends, your 1st and 6th house Lord is transiting in your 9th house. Your ascendant Lord is debilitated and in retro state. Don't expect luck to be by your side or things to go in your favor during this transit. There will be days when you may question your faith in your respective deity as well. Don't be impulsive. Don't take any rash decisions which you may regret later. Keep your faith strong. Keep your faith in your deity strong. It is only a very temporary phase for you. These are testing times which will pass away soon. Taking a religious tour can help build some kind of positivity in your mind. There can also be some issues in job. Do not look to change your job. Stick on to your job. Do not fight. Do not unnecessarily take an impulsive decision to quit your job during this period. There can be some travel also related to job. Father's health can be a concern during this period. Your father and you yourself both can be a bit irritated, frustrated and angry during this period. Your back can also hurt a bit too. So do be careful with regards to your back issues. Communication can be bad. Think before you speak. There are chances of misunderstanding. Avoid debating and unnecessary arguing, especially with siblings and neighbors. Avoid taking loan during this period. The remedy is to do some kind of physical exercise, especially swimming, and read Hanuman Chalisa every day. For my Sagittarius friends, your 5th and 12th house Lord is transiting into the 8th house. Making any changes or transformations during this time can be bad for you. Also, your intellect will not support you this time. Your intellect will not be your best guide during this time. If you have to take any major decisions, do consult with your near and dear ones. Ideas that you come up will not be that good for you. Don't be impulsive. Avoid speculations absolutely. Do not make any new investments, be it mutual fund, cryptos, insurance, or any kind of investments. Land dealings should also be done very carefully during this time. There is also likelihood of troubles in love relationships due to some kind of secrecy. Children's health can also be problematic. Females who are expecting should be extra careful during this transit. Try to avoid traveling during this time. For women who are expecting, there can be some foreign or long distance travel, but travel very carefully. Drive carefully. Chances of accidents and injuries are there during this transit. Students also need to concentrate better. Those involved in research activities, it's better if you can postpone any major analysis until this transit. Data analysts also need to recheck their work before final submission or conclusion. There can be problems with in-laws also for those of you who are married. Blood pressure and muscle can also be an issue during this time. The remedy is to do some kind of meditation, swimming, physical exercises, read Hanuman Chalisa every day and avoid spicy food. For my Capricorn friends, your 4th and 11th house lord is transiting in the 7th house. Relation with partners and spouse can be a bit rough, can be a bit argumentative. This time is bad both for professional and personal relations. Injury to spouse is also possible. There can be some kind of anger issues with them during this period. Home environment will be bad. There can be arguments at home, unnecessary conflicts with home members during this time. Mother can also try to dominate your spouse. If you are married, then this time your mother can try to dominate your spouse a lot. Your income will also be fluctuative and will not be steady. Do not look for any kind of promotions or gains during this time. For some of you, there is also a possibility or temptation of extramarital affair during this time. Avoid being impulsive in matters of income, friend circle and your any kind of self business. Think twice before making any changes. There can be some kind of expenses on home or vehicle during this period. It is also important that you drive carefully as there are chances of accidents and injuries during this period. You can also travel away from home. There is also possibilities of change of residence or home for some of you. Even your city, your place can change during this time. Wealth will be fluctuative and there can be possibility of arguments with family. Do not bring up ancestral property related topics during this period. Family may not support your friend circle during this time. Your family may be against your friends during this time. The remedy is to do some kind of swimming, physical exercises, worship Lord Hanuman, read Hanuman Chalisa daily, stick to your old plans. Your customer flow can be a bit less during this time and also try to avoid any kind of spicy food. For my Aquarius friends, your 3rd and 10th house lord is transiting in your 6th house. Job and career can be steady, but don't be impulsive. Don't quit your job during this time. Your job and career can be unsteady, not steady. There can be some kind of fluctuations in your job and business, but try to stick to your job. Try not to quit your job. Do not be impulsive. Do not take any rash decisions. Stick to your old plans. Do not start something new. Your efforts can also be wasted during this time. Your skills can be wasted. You are likely not to be appreciated for the efforts that you have put in. There can also be some troubles with the bosses during this period. But remember, this is only a very temporary phase. Arguments with co-workers is also possible. You can also become a victim of office politics. I know I am saying only negative things regarding your career, but this is what the planets are pointing towards. This is also bad for any kind of competitions. You are likely to fail during any kind of competitions during this time. It is better you pass this transit of retro Mars very quietly and in a very calm way. There is a likelihood of anger issues with you and your daily routine can also be disturbed. There is likelihood of digestion issues. So watch what you eat. Try to avoid spicy food too much. If you are suffering from blood pressure issues, then you need to be extra careful during this time. There are also chances of muscle injury if you are a sportsman during this time. Health issues to siblings is also possible. Arguments with elder or younger siblings is also possible during this time. Avoid traveling also if possible for you. Try to follow some kind of routine life. Do some kind of physical exercise, go for a swimming and read Hanuman Chalisa and absolutely avoid spicy food during this time. For my Pisces friends, your 2nd and 9th house lord is transiting in the 5th house. Your wealth can fluctuate during this time. The savings can also deplete. There can be some kind of sudden expenses during this time. Maybe you can also make some donations during this period. If you are in a love relationship, your family may not approve your relationship during this time. So do not bring up the topic of love marriage till Mars is retro. Arguments with family members is also possible. Trouble with father and bosses and teachers or any mentors is also possible with you. Those of you who are in college, there can be some kind of education related issues as well. You need to concentrate a lot more in your education than usually that you do. There is also likelihood of digestion issues and stomach issues. Therefore, watch what you eat. Do not consume spicy food. Try to eat in moderation. Avoid any kind of investments, any kind of trading in the stock market, any kind of speculation. Avoid investments in the cryptos or anything that involves a lot kind of risk or anything related to gambling, as chances of loss is very high during this period. This time can also be bad for the health of your children. For women who are expecting, you need to be extra careful. Try not to travel too much during this period. Avoid arguments with your children and keep your anger in check during this time. Do not try to dominate your children during this time. Don't be impulsive. Stick to your old plans. Your mind can be a little fluctuative too. You can move from one idea to another very quickly. But remember, any ideas that you try to implement during this time can either be delayed or may backfire and may not give you the desired results during this period. Don't be also over possessive about your boyfriend or girlfriend if you are in a relationship. Give them some kind of space. If you are already married, there can be some issues with your in-laws or in matters related to inheritance or insurance. The remedy is to do some kind of physical exercises, go for a swim if possible, chant some mantras, do meditation, worship Lord Hanuman during this period. So that was our analysis of Mars getting retro in the Cancer sign. I hope you liked the video. Please do like, share and comment, and do subscribe to the channel SM Astro. Thank you for watching.